Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. This is very frustrating. My Sony 7 III is already acting very weirdly. It basically flashes. It just flashes white. It's just very weird. I'm not sure what's going on.
How far are you willing to go for the perfect shot? What are you willing to battle and what are you willing to sacrifice? These were the questions spinning through my head as I sat on the train, leaving Cambridge behind and chasing one of the wildest adventures of my life. A winter road trip to one of the most magnificent places on planet Earth.
Hello, I'm at the airport. At last I arrived at the airport from Cambridge, so that was about 2 hours in the train, and I thought of giving you a quick update. Number one, I just had a new lesson today. The first lesson was that a telephoto lens, like the Tamron 70-300 that I was getting with me, actually needs to be checked by the security. At least in my case, it was flagged and it was checked. But everyone was very, very nice and very polite, and they even asked me where I'm going, and when I said Iceland, they went, oh, wow. Anyway, now it's time for some food because I'm very hungry.
After a quick meal deal at the airport, it was finally time to board the plane for our 3-hour flight to Keflavik. I was excited, eager to get through the flight and land, to finally meet this place, but also the people, because for this road trip I wouldn't be alone. I was joining a group of friends I've known since I was little, but also people I had never met before, people I might connect with and others I might not. But that was part of the adventure. I wouldn't know until the moment we met, and beyond the people, another challenge was waiting for me. This wouldn't be the kind of photography where you can slow down, carefully place a tripod and work a scene for hours. Everything would move fast. The weather, the light, the journey itself, and I would have to adapt, photographing the Icelandic landscape almost the same way I photograph the streets, quickly, instinctively, and without hesitation.
The team, well, a part of the team. We're here, Reykjavik. Here's the driver. Στην πρώτη έξοδο κάνω δεξιά δηλαδή.
Ναι. Δεν κάνεις πρώτη έξοδο.
Don't know if I'm in focus. I'm in focus. Yeah, I'm in focus now. We are in a hotel here in Reykjavik that we're gonna stay tonight, and then tomorrow we're getting some food from supermarkets, and then we're off to the road trip because this is what it is about. It is a road trip. So there are many challenges. There are the challenges that the weather is bad. I'm always very mindful of my gear because the weather is bad. So I'm not sure whether the gear will take it. The snow. So at some point there is a lot of snow, and I'm not sure whether the Fuji 65 will take it. I've never tested it in that much snow. I think Sony 7 III has been tested before, but Fuji 65 not. So this is a bit of a risk, which, to be honest, I think I'm willing to take. Although it will be a big loss if I lose any of these cameras, it will be a big loss, but I'm willing to take this risk because we're here for the photos. And if we are scared that the gear is gonna damage, we're not gonna get the photos, so we're not gonna accomplish our goal. That's all for tonight. That's all for the first day. It was exciting, it was nice, it was tiring, but we are here and we are ready to roll and take some amazing photos. All right, good night. Iceland, officially day 2, we had breakfast. Things are kind of packed again because today we are leaving the hotel here in Reykjavik, and somehow we'll have to close this down again. So we're leaving the hotel to start our epic road trip. Official outfit check, boots, ski trousers, there you go, fleece, thermal underwear, and my beautiful white jacket. Anyway, that's all. The driver. So we are assigning roles here in the car. Christos is the driver, or the Greek Ryan Gosling. Maria.
Kinder Maria.
She's Kinder Maria. Kinder Surprise. Sorry, I was too close. Kinder Surprise because because she's adventurous to the point that she's pregnant with a beautiful baby, and still she decided to come with us. Kudos to her. And Maria, what's your role, Maria?
The walkie-talker.
The walkie-talker.
In our drive towards Thingvellir National Park, the place where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates meet, we came face to face with the Icelandic winter landscape for the very first time. Blue skies above us, frozen roads stretching ahead, and a relentless wind sweeping snow across the asphalt. At times, the snow would completely cover the road, creating the strange illusion that our cars weren't driving at all, but flying across the frozen Icelandic wilderness towards our next destination. We finally arrived at Thingvellir National Park, and before descending onto the path that leads between the tectonic plates and towards Uxararfoss, we took a moment to admire the vast frozen flatland stretching before us. Then we began walking between the two tectonic plates, and the entire time I found myself trying to truly grasp what this place represents. Standing there between continents slowly drifting apart felt almost surreal. I took out the Fuji X-T5 and started taking a few photographs, not with the intention of creating pieces of art, but simply to immortalize the moment and the memory of being there.
Looking at the back actually looks more impressive than looking at the front, to be honest. We are here where the two tectonic plates are meeting. It's very nice to see it. It's like a little canyon here. With us, we have Evgenia.
Hello.
We have Theo. What a guy. What a guy.
There I found another opening to the frozen field with a beautiful little bridge in the middle and took the chance to get a couple of shots.
The hike continues. Now we're a bit cold, and as you can see, the hood has come out with my balaclava and everything, and I am doing fine.
And like that, we reached the destination we so much wanted to see, Uxararfoss, the beautiful waterfall, only to find a big surprise.
Αρούλη, καταράκτη είχαμε.
Είχαμε. So...
Είχαμε.
After being hit in the face by a snow-filled wind and after a quick coffee break to warm ourselves up, we were back in the cars, ready to set off towards our next destination.
Okay, so we saw the two tectonic plates coming together. We walked in the middle. Now we're driving towards the geysers to capture the water exploding from the earth.
Here we are at the place where the earth explodes and water shoots into the sky with a force powerful enough to intimidate even the bravest. I was inspired by the boiling water and the clouds of vapor rising from the earth, and I instinctively tapped back into my street photography roots, photographing how the steam swallows people and transforms the entire atmosphere of the place.
Okay, we have a problem, and the problem is that we might not be able to see the aurora. I mean, we're still in the first day. The weather looks quite clear today. However, every other day that we're going to be here, it's going to be cloudy and it's going to be snowy and rainy. So there is a good chance we are not going to see the aurora. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the major reasons why we came here, and imagine if we don't see it. But yeah, let's see. I mean, probably today is the only day in the entire trip that we will have a chance to see it. If it appears today, we will see it. If it doesn't, we might not.
With these thoughts in mind, we were approaching our next destination, the magnificent Golfos. But there I was about to face another unexpected problem, this time with the Sony a7 III.
So here we are in Golfos with Kubara. There is Kubara. Let's hope that this waterfall will not be frozen as we are, because we are quite frozen right now. Kubaros. Show us. We are looking for 11 here, I think. We are looking for 11. And if you know, you know. Okay, it's very beautiful. I've said it's very beautiful about 55 times so far.
But have a look at this and tell me whether I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. This is very frustrating. My Sony a7 III is already acting very weirdly. It basically flashes. It just flashes white. It's just very weird. I'm not sure what's going on. I really haven't seen this before. Oh, τώρα όντως έχω ξενερώσει.
Γιατί έχει πάθει η κάμερα.
Ναι, δεν ξέρω τι έχει πάθει. Κοίτα.
But to really explain what happened with the Sony a7 III at Golfos and why this is so important, I need to take you back to the moment it all started.
There, because the waterfall was very wide and it was extending in a large area, I decided to get the Sony a7 III out with Tamron 17 to 28 to try to get more into the frame, to get, you know, the whole waterfall in the frame. And I did, and the moment I turned it on, I started observing something really weird. When I was pressing the shutter button for the camera to focus, it would flash black and white, like the entire screen would turn black and white, but the camera would still be on. It would take the photo, it would be slower than usual, but it would still take the photos. But it was very worrying. And it's very worrying because I don't know whether this is something that happened just because of the cold or whether this is a problem which is sort of starting to manifest. In any case, it is very worrying because it's literally the only setup I have that can capture the aurora properly. If anything happens to it, I'm not gonna have a proper aurora shot from this trip. So now we have two anxieties. One is whether we will see any auroras, and second is whether the camera will be able to operate and it will not die on me right here in Iceland.
And now I had a choice to make. Either I put the Sony a7 III aside and save it for when the northern lights appear, or keep using it and risk it failing completely. Can you guess what I did? The next destination would seal the fate of the Sony a7 III. I came here for the photographs and I was willing to take the risk. Because without risk, there is no reward. Our next stop was a hidden gem, Faxafos. Not as big or as intimidating as the other waterfalls, but somehow it made me feel closer to nature. And for the first time on this trip, closer to what Iceland could become for me. Not only a canvas for photographs, but also a place where new ideas, emotions and perspectives could begin to take shape. I took a few moments to admire the waterfall from above. I reached for the Fuji X-T5 with a 50mm f2, focusing on the beautiful details of the scene, photographing the textures of the water, sometimes framing them through the small bushes around me to create a sense of anticipation. The sun was slowly dropping lower and lower in the sky, and its rays were creating a soft golden haze as they touched the mist rising from Faxafos. I began walking down step by step, getting closer and closer to the waterfall until I was finally standing right beside it, fully immersed in its energy and power. And that's when the decision was made. This was not time to play it safe. I grabbed the Sony a7 III and tried to capture everything within a single frame, using the natural curves of the rocks, the small pools forming around the waterfall, and every element I could find to tell the full story of the place. As the sun continued to drop, I increased my f-stop to capture a sunstar, just as the light began to kiss the cliff on the right side, igniting the waterfall and my imagination pushing me to take one more photo, one more moment that might never exist again.
The Sony 7 III looks like it's okay-ish. And I got some very nice shots from the A7 III there, wide angle, using the Tamron. I didn't use a tripod, I didn't have the time to use a tripod. Everything is happening so fast, we're moving from one spot to the other so fast, so tripod was not an option, but I got some nice photos handheld.
After the long exploration of the first day, which would later prove to be the easiest of what was still to come, we finally slowed down and relaxed in the secret lagoon.
Entire day of running around, literally running around.
As blue hour quietly settled above us, I took a quick photo with my phone to remember the moment. Later that evening we shared dinner with the whole team before slowly making our way to the hotel that would host us for the night in the region of Hela. As we made our way to the hotel, tired but excited, one thought kept crossing my mind. If this was the easiest day of the trip, I could only imagine what the next ones would bring.
Fuck! Extremely wet right now. Come on, let's go! What?